Good morning, David Coombe here with the AM Debrief for this Wednesday, the 30th of November. We're seeing that most of the markets are up overnight. The Dow Jones, which closed about 7 minutes ago, has put on around 42 points here, and that's on hopes that the Eurozone ministers that are getting together is reason enough to buoy the market. So we're seeing a situation again where we're climbing the wall of worry with, or is that the wall of hope? I'll have to look up my notes there. But the market's really clasping its straws, it seems, and looking for any signs of bright light and really rallying on that. And then when the details actually come to pass, the disappointment results in these big sell-offs. So anyway. We'll see what happens, but it looks like another up day, which is reasonably positive. Talk of a Christmas rally might be a little bit premature, but to walk 1,000 miles, they say, you must begin with the first step. So we are building on a couple of these gains here. So let's look at some of the other numbers. The FTSE up 0.46, so a little bit more in percentage terms, or 24 points. Crude there was above 100, I believe, but settling back down under 100 there at 99.83. That is a concern and continues to be a concern because, of course, crude is one of the primary input costs in really pretty well any economy. And while it stays up here, it does curtail growth and just makes things more difficult. That Iranian situation, normally you'd expect, or in my experience, you see a sort of a spike up on the initial news, a reaction, and then reasonably quickly things come off, but we're not seeing that. Gold at 17.21, up $7, so reasonably good solid move up there. The euro putting on a little bit of ground there, and the US dollar coming off against the yen. Okay, let's look at a couple of these other numbers and see what our local market is forecast to do here. Just find this through various changes here. Okay, so markets are pointing down 24 points at this stage, so that's 4,110. So not too impressed by that news out of Europe. Investors here playing the cautious tone, cautious game perhaps. The rest of the region, Hang Seng up 109 and Nikkei down 40. We did have an interesting day yesterday where we saw the market initially trading down to below its starting point, and then ultimately put on a reasonably good gain by the conclusion of the day. Just trying to bring that up here now. Yeah, so we ended up putting on 43 points there, so really quite a good run there, just a little bit over 1%. So perhaps we've got a bit of profit taking coming in here, anticipated to come in here this morning. Okay, let's move on and have a look at the economic calendar now. Oh, sorry, probably should look at the commodities first. So we talked about crude. I've got a lot of green numbers here with some quite big moves. Oats up 4.6%, wheat up 5.88, sugar 1.6. Lumber was a notable down 3.07. Cocoa coming off 1.88, and coffee was also down a little bit there, 1.45. Copper up 1.08%. Gold we've talked about, and silver was actually down. The currency pairs, euro buying 1.3326, pound 15610, the US dollar buying 778678 yen, and the Aussie back above parity. Another excuse for a parity party here, 1.0026, and the US dollar 10305, and the Swiss franc 92.03. To our economic calendar, we had those business confidence or business climate indicator for November coming out last night, and that was even worse than expected. They're expecting negative 0.3, they got negative 0.4. Consumer confidence coming out in line with the previous month, so clearly no signs of the mood changing there, and you wouldn't be surprised to hear that, I'm sure. Okay, consumer confidence out of the US come through at 56 versus 44, so that's quite a good solid move to the upside there. House prices in positive territory, 0.9, and the house purchase index at 0.2 rather than the previous negative 3. So would have thought those numbers were quite encouraging. Later on this morning we've got some Japanese data out, then we've got new home sales out here at 11 o'clock. Private capital expenditure and credit numbers, more Japanese data, and housing starts. Then we're going into this evening with the German retail sales, unemployment expected to stay at 7%, and the Eurozone unemployment rate expected to come in at 10.2. That takes us through to Thursday, where we've got some Canadian data coming through, and the US Fed Beige Book Economic Survey into the start of tomorrow morning. Okay, just follow up on a couple of equity or trade ideas here. I think I talked about before local banks looking really like pretty amazing value, and in fact I saw a report from Calibre the other day talking up ANZ, and certainly tomorrow I think it looks pretty good as well. Got this pretty solid level of support down here at 1860 or so. So I guess that's clearly a place where you put your stop, and I'd like to think that that could start to move back up towards $21 without too much trouble, and a little bit of positivity in the markets obviously would help float all boats, and ANZ should be no exception. Okay, just following up quickly on a few other things here before I finish up. The index here, I was talking to one of my clients here, and they said, can you see a head and shoulders formation coming up in here? And I think the answer would have to be, yeah, there's certainly the makings of one. So there we've got our shoulder, head, and another shoulder here. Obviously that August 9 big dip low is kind of got to be discounted a little bit there, but we have got quite a good solid reversal pattern forming here. So can we be looking for 4,400? Well, that's clearly the higher end of the trading range, and that's where if we are to trade off that, we would look to get out of positions and turn around and go back the other way. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks as always. Until next time, bye for now.